Hi, welcome. 26 films in 4 languages, 29 awards. Most desirable man, best dressed man, most influential youngster. Oh my god, ఇలా చెప్పుకుంటూ పోతే ఒక పెద్ద చాంతాడంతా వచ్చేస్తుంది. So I have with me a brand by himself, DQ, Dulquer Salmaan. Hi Dulquer, how are you? Welcome to Hyderabad.
Thank you. Always happy to come back to Hyderabad.
I know.
I don't know why I feel very at home here. I feel like there's family here. It's like that.
2 years, almost 2 years of pandemic.
Yeah.
మిమ్మల్ని మేము చాలా మిస్ అయ్యాం. 3 years బ్యాక్ మహానటి అప్పుడు మిమ్మల్ని కలిసాం ఇక్కడ.
So I think 2 years we'll cancel.
2 years క్యాన్సిల్ చేసేద్దాం, 1 year ఏనా? వండర్ఫుల్, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ కరెక్ట్. అయితే నాకు ఎప్పటి నుంచో మైండ్లో ఒకటి వస్తూ ఉంటుంది దుల్కర్, ఏంటంటే ఎస్పెషల్లీ వెన్ ఎవర్ మీ సినిమాలు చూసినప్పుడల్లా మలయాళం యాక్టర్స్ ఎంతోమంది, మాకు మమ్ముట్టి గారు, మోహన్ లాల్ గారు, అప్పటి నుంచి మాకు అందరూ చాలామంది తెలుసు. ఇప్పటి పృథ్వీరాజ్, ఈవెన్ ఫాహద్, సో మెనీ పీపుల్. బట్ మీలాగా ఎవ్వరు వెంచర్ చేయలేదు వేరే లాంగ్వేజెస్లో. ఫటా చేసేసారు ఇన్ అ వెరీ షార్ట్ స్పాన్. 9 years of your career, I think you've done in Tamil, you've done in Telugu, you've done in Hindi. And what is this? Why is this interest for acting in other languages?
I enjoy languages, I think. Even in school, when I think more than other subjects, I think languages I used to enjoy.
Okay.
So my second language was Hindi, my third language was Tamil, my mother tongue is Malayalam. So I never found it. I actually enjoyed like understanding every word, cracking it. Even growing up, if I'm listening to songs, I'll always ask people, what does this word mean? And I listen to music from everywhere. So it's mostly my interest in language, but I never imagined I could do Telugu because I had no exposure. I've not spent time here. I have friends from here, but obviously they don't speak to me in Telugu. So when Mahanati came to me also, I was like, I don't know the language. I think it's such a nice role. It's a big film.
Yes.
I thought I'll be the wrong choice. I'll mess it up. But after coming here, it's one of my. I think it's one of my favorite languages. It's very beautiful. Like when they give me my script, when I'm breaking it down, I don't think you can express like this in other languages. So it's. I have a genuine love for it.
బట్ అనదర్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే, ఓకే మీకు జెన్యూన్ లవ్ ఉంది, కానీ మీరు యాక్ట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మీరు ఆన్ స్పాట్ చెప్పటం వదిలేస్తే డబ్బింగ్లో కూడా మీరు ఆ న్యూయాన్సెస్ కరెక్ట్గా పట్టుకుంటున్నారు. ప్రతి పదానికి ఉన్న ఆ కరెక్ట్ యాక్సెంట్ ఉంటుంది చూడండి. ఇప్పుడు తెలుగు భాషకు ఒక యాక్సెంట్ ఉంటుంది, మలయాళంకి ఉన్నట్లే హిందీకి ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. ఆ స్టైల్ కూడా ఎలా పట్టుకుంటున్నారు మీరు? అంటే హౌ యూ ఏబుల్ టు యాక్చువల్లీ డూ దట్ డబ్బింగ్? బికాస్ చాలా మంది చేయలేరు అది. సో డబ్బింగ్ ఆర్టిస్ట్లు వచ్చి చేస్తుంటారు. సో మీరు చూస్ టు డబ్ యువర్ ఫిల్మ్స్?
I want to. Like I ideally, sometimes it's a time constraint, but ideally, I think now people know my voice. So if somebody else dubs, people are like, they don't like it.
Right.
But I think I've developed a year to understand if it's sounding off, to understand if there's a Malayalam accent. But also, obviously, there's always a team helping me. And I don't mind, spending time. I don't mind trying till I correct it. So I enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy it.
ఎస్పెషల్లీ కొన్ని సినిమాలు చూస్తుంటే, లైక్ కలీ ఆర్ కొన్ని సీరియస్ ఫిల్మ్స్, కొన్ని వెరీ ఇంటెన్స్ ఫిల్మ్స్, అవి చూస్తుంటే మీ ఫేస్ చూడకుండా జస్ట్ అలా డైలాగ్ వింటూ ఉంటే మమ్ముట్టి గారు మాట్లాడుతున్నారా అన్నట్టు ఉంటుంది. ఆ వాయిస్ అంత సిమిలారిటీస్ ఉంటాయి. అంటే ఐ నో యువర్ ఫాదర్ అండ్ సన్, బట్ డైలాగ్ డెలివరీ కూడా మీరు ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా అలా ఎట్లా పట్టగలి చేస్తున్నారు? ఐ థింక్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ కాన్షియస్లీ ఆర్ ఇట్ జస్ట్ కమ్స్ లైక్ దట్?
I think it's just genetic. I mean, but also with experience, I think you learn how to modulate and how to express correctly. Now when I watch my first film with the same team, I don't think today I'll modulate or dub like that. It sounds off to me. Now I think as I keep listening, I know how to sound more natural, how to use my voice correctly. But it's definitely something, for actors it's very important to learn how to speak correctly, dub correctly, enunciate.
Right.
And I have a tendency to speak fast and to little mumble. Like I'm not thinking of how it sounds. So when I'm performing, I have to make a effort.
ఇంత అన్కన్వెన్షనల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ని మీరు ఎందుకు పికప్ చేస్తారు దుల్కర్? దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ థింగ్ విచ్ యాక్చువల్లీ కీప్స్ ఆన్ కమింగ్ ఇన్ టు మై మైండ్ రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ ఫస్ట్ ఫిలిం. ఎవరైనా ఒక స్టార్ ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి వచ్చిన ఒక కుర్రాడు మొదటి సినిమాని చాలా ప్లాన్డ్గా మనకి ఈ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉండాలి, ఈ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఉండాలి, ఇవి ఉండాలి ఇవన్నీ ఒక కలగలిపితే ఒక బుక్కేలాగా అవుతే ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాపర్ లాంచ్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఇట్స్ నార్మలీ కన్సిడర్డ్. What is this unconventional role you picked up? Some crime thriller, and you're not even a positive guy. You have a negative shade in that. Malli ade team to malli meeru ee crime thrillers kunna mee passion. I just don't understand how this comes so naturally.
When I expressed my interest or desire to act, my father, he said, I'll never launch you. I'm not going to make phone calls. I'm not doing anything. You go ask, talk to people, see if they want to cast you. That's on you. I have nothing to do with this. So I didn't think I deserved a big launch because, you know, of the family I'm from. So I was listening to some ideas, meeting people, and I like this team because everybody is new. I think 95% of the team were newcomers. But I like the script. And also, I came a little late. I didn't come when I was 19, 20. Yeah, so when I entered cinema, I had already, I think, experienced life quite a bit. I had watched a lot of cinema. I'd observed actors. I'd observed how people, launching their careers or whatever, or what mistakes they've made. So I genuinely didn't want to make a lot of noise. I wanted to come as quietly, but let the film speak more than me. But from then, it's just been very organic. But I mean, I think I have a genuine love for cinema. So I don't try to position myself as a particular hero. I'll do certain things, or I need a big intro, or I need, you know, so many songs, fights. I can't think like that.
కొంతమంది ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఫ్యాన్స్ ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్, మమ్ముట్టి గారి ఫ్యాన్స్ ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్, అలాగే ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్. వాట్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ యూర్ పికింగ్ అప్ మ్యాన్ అని అంటారు కదా. వై డోంట్ యూ యాక్చువల్లీ డూ డాన్స్ నంబర్స్, ఫైట్స్, బీటింగ్ అప్ గూన్స్? ఐ మీన్ ఇవన్నీ
I don't mind doing that, but I think the cinema for me has to make sense. I think if it's a strong storyline, if it's good content, but it has all these elements, I'm happy to do it. But it has to be something memorable. I think 10 years later also people should talk about the film. So I'm very particular about that. I want to keep doing memorable movies. I don't want it to release one, make a lot of noise, make a lot of money, and then people forget about it.
ఓకే.
Yeah.
అసలు అంటే మీరు ప్రెషర్ తీసుకోరా?
I don't think so much about it. I mean, ideally,
అంతగా ఆలోచించారు.
I mean, there's a lot of pressure, as in, because everybody's doing such good work.
Right.
All my peers, my contemporaries, not just Malayalam, in other languages also. So there'll be a comparison. They're like, oh, this actor's doing that. Why aren't you doing something? So you can't plan like that. I don't want to look left or right.
Correct.
Ideally, I want to just keep doing what I believe in.
Okay. సో మమ్ముట్టి గారు మిమ్మల్ని ప్రాపర్గా లాంచ్ అయితే నేను చేయను, నీ దారి నువ్వే చూసుకొని అన్నారు, కరెక్టే. బట్ ఎవర్ సిన్స్ యూ స్టార్టెడ్ హిట్టింగ్ సక్సెసెస్, వాట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ త్రూ హిస్ మైండ్? ఎప్పుడైనా చెప్పారా మీకు ఓపెన్గా, మీకు డైరెక్ట్గా మాట్లాడి చెప్తుంటారా ఈ సినిమా నచ్చింది, అది బాగుంది, ఇది బాగాలేదు అని? Does he talk to you about all these things?
I know he's quietly proud.
Okay.
He might tell my mother sometimes, but
Not to you?
not to me. He's very particular.
Really?
He wants me to learn myself, like make my mistakes, enjoy my success, but not let it affect my attitude, or So he doesn't overly ever give me a lot of praise or nothing. He'll be like, yeah, good, something like that. It won't be very highly expressed.
సో మీ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ మీరు డిస్కస్ చేయరు అసలు ఇంట్లో? మీరు ఏం సినిమా చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు?
It's difficult because we both do a lot of movies, so it's difficult to discuss every script I hear. If I like something,
ఓకే.
if I've chosen a film, I'll tell him. I said, I heard this idea and I like it, and this is what it is. And he'll be like, okay, interesting. And now he does the same with me also. He's like, because I think he likes to know what youngsters are thinking.
ఓకే.
So when he likes a script, he'll also talk to me about it. He'll say, I've heard this. This is the idea, and what do you think? I'm like, it sounds good. So that's nice. I like that. We're almost like equals, and we're discussing work. It's nice.
అండ్ నిజంగా అది కరెక్టే. మీరు వచ్చి 9 ఏళ్ళు అయింది, ఆయన వచ్చి 50 ఏళ్ళు అయింది. ఆయన ఇంకా మీతో పోటీపడి నటిస్తున్నారు, యంగ్స్టర్స్తో పోటీపడి నటిస్తున్నారు, యంగ్ డైరెక్టర్స్ ఆయన డైరెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. మీరు ఆయన పోటాపోటీగా నటిస్తున్నారంట కదా ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్, కనీసం 3-4 ఫిల్మ్స్.
I think he does more films than me.
Really?
Yeah, he does more films than most. I think my father and Mohanlal sir, I think, probably do more cinema than the other youngsters, because their discipline is like that.
Oh my God.
So for 30 years, they've always been shooting. Like Monday they finish one film, Tuesday they'll start the next film.
Even during COVID?
I think, obviously everybody slowed down because of restrictions. And my father was, I think, little more concerned because we live with my grandmother's 90, so we stay with her.
Okay.
So we both were a little concerned about going out and coming home, or being in a bubble and all that. But otherwise, yeah, they work, because that's their discipline for so many years. But I think all of us youngsters, we like to take a break, think, plan. But I don't think they can sit still.
అయితే నా వరకు వస్తే యాజ్ అ జర్నలిస్ట్, యాజ్ అ ఫిల్మ్ జర్నలిస్ట్, కోవిడ్, బిఫోర్ కోవిడ్, ఆఫ్టర్ కోవిడ్ దుల్కర్ సల్మాన్ అని నేను అనుకుంటా. అంటే దట్స్ హౌ ఐ యాక్చువల్లీ పర్సీవ్ యూ.
Yeah.
సో బిఫోర్ కోవిడ్ ఐ సీన్ అ కపుల్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఫిల్మ్, నేను చూశాను చాలా 3-4 సినిమాలు. బట్ కోవిడ్ వాజ్ లైక్ ది టైమ్. అంటే నేను కూర్చొని ఇంకా లెఫ్ట్ రైట్ సెంటర్ ఐ సీన్ సో మెనీ మలయాళం ఫిల్మ్స్. ఐ జస్ట్ ఫెల్ ఇన్ లవ్ విత్ ద ఎంటైర్ ఇండస్ట్రీ. ద వే యూ పికప్ యువర్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ అండ్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ యూ చూస్. అండ్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ మీ సినిమాలు నేను చాలా చూశాను. ఐ లైక్ దిస్, వాట్ ఈస్ దట్, your first production, Ayushman Vayari.
Varane Avashamundu.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that word, but that is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I have to ask a question in this. మీరు మొట్టమొదటిసారి ప్రొడక్షన్ చేద్దాము అని అనుకున్నప్పుడు, సినిమాలు ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేద్దాం అనుకున్నప్పుడు, ద ఫస్ట్ డెబ్యూ మీరు ఎట్లయితే యాక్టింగ్లో ఒక కన్వెన్షనల్ రోల్ పికప్ చేసుకున్నారో, ప్రొడక్షన్లో కూడా యూ సెలెక్టెడ్ అ సబ్జెక్ట్ వేర్ ఇన్ యు ఆర్ వన్ ఆఫ్ దోస్ క్యారెక్టర్స్. యు ఆర్ నాట్ ద మెయిన్ లీడ్.
I wasn't even supposed to be in the film.
That's okay. Oh, really?
I wasn't supposed to be in the film.
Okay.
But my desire as a producer is to, to build a production house that speaks of a certain quality and does cinema. It shouldn't be only my films, because that's the easy thing to do. Any of my films will produce or whatever. But ideally, I want to do smaller films or films with new directors or new actors, or do a mix of stuff. But like, the company should stand for good cinema. So when I loved the storyline, I loved the whole mother-daughter angle, and so I said I want to produce this film because I think it'll be a good film, and I want to attach my name to it. And we kept discussing it, and that one role we hadn't cast, the boy.
Okay.
And I kept listening to it, and it kept developing, and that one scene where he gets emotional about his family. I think for that one scene, I said I want to do it. I don't care what screen time I have. I think I'm there for 32 minutes or something in the film. That's it. But I think for that one reason, I want to do it. And I think also because I'm doing so many movies, I don't worry about how much screen time I have in a film. And end of the day, it's my production, so it's my film in some way or the other. And I want to hero the film every time.
కానీ that doesn't trouble you at any point of time?
No, because there's more movies coming. See, if you think this is my first and last film or something, okay, it's scary.
Right.
But also in a year I have 3 releases, 4 releases, 5 releases. So it should be a mix of things. I think people should enjoy me as an actor in different roles, different films. So I know what else is coming. So it wasn't, even in Kurup, we have such a strong ensemble cast, and they're all terrific actors. And I think I enjoy them more than seeing myself on screen. I think they're all so much better as performers, and even how true they are to the characters.
Right.
So definitely when you watch the film, you'll know, like, whether it's Indrajit sir or Sunny or Shobita or Shine Tom, they're terrific, everybody.
But here I have to say one thing. The police officer's character, who was that person?
Indrajit Sukumar. He's Prithviraj's brother.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
అంటే మీరు వారిని బాగా ప్రమోట్ చేస్తున్నారు. అంటే జనరల్గా దిస్ హౌ ఇట్ యూజువలీ దట్ డజంట్ వర్క్ దట్ వే. అంటే మీరు ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తున్న సినిమా, మీరు నటిస్తున్న సినిమాలో జనరల్గా దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ ఇట్ గోస్. యూ ప్రమోట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, యూ పుష్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్రంట్ సీట్. సో here you're taking the back seat.
No, I think it's important that I don't want to compete with everybody or bring people down. Ideally, as people in the industry, we should make space for everyone, and everybody should lift each other up. My goal is that, it's difficult, and I keep trying to do it. So anybody wants me to promote something, I'll do it. Or even my films, I want to push up other actors. I don't want to compete with anybody, even while performing in a scene. It should be collaborative. It should be about the film, about the scene. How do we crack this? And if you have the better line, great. If this scene is yours, great. I don't want to compete, because there's so much negative energy that can come.
Correct.
In the film business. Right. It's very difficult to stay happy and positive and peaceful, and I think that's more important.
This is your third production, right?
Yeah.
First 2 hit అయినాయి, మూడోది కూడా హిట్. మీదంతా ఐ థింక్ గోల్డెన్ హ్యాండ్ అనుకుంటా.
There's a lot riding on this film, especially because of COVID.
Yeah.
And this is our biggest production, our biggest film. And I showed my distributors here in Telugu, and they happen to like it. So I don't think we imagine it'll have a big release here. But I think as a subject, as an idea, it appeals. But I hope we have a good run as producers. You can be smart about how you plan a production, how you understand the script, and then plan the cost of it and how you sell it. It is possible, But I'm not saying I'll always have a 100% hit rate.
యా బట్ ఈ థాట్ ప్రాసెస్ అన్నది మీరు ఇందాక చెప్పినట్టు అంటే కొంచెం అందరిలాగా 1920కి రాకుండా 26కి అట్లా వచ్చారు కాబట్టి ఇండస్ట్రీలోకి ఈ ఈ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్లానింగ్, ఈ వే ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ ద వే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బి డన్, ఈ ఆర్గానిక్ వే ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ థింగ్స్ అన్నది మీకు అందుకే వచ్చిందంటారా? అంటే బికాస్ మీరు ఇందాక అదే అన్నారు, అంటే కొంచెం లేట్గా స్టార్ట్ అయిందని మీ కెరియర్లో, సో ఐ వాంట్ టు డూ డిఫరెంట్లీ అని.
If you genuinely love something, you know, you'll keep exploring everything about it. And we're all here because we love cinema. You know? So I always want to hero the films. You know, the cinema should be bigger than me. The cinema it is always bigger than me. Like my father used to say long back, he's like, you know, we need cinema. Cinema doesn't need us. If I'm not there, somebody else will still act. Somebody else will still do the same film. So it's my love, you know, for movies that I'm here. So, and as a producer, you know, I've been very blessed because when I work in other industries, not just Malayalam, I work with different kind of producers everywhere. And I've seen, I know what a good producer is, what a bad producer is. I know who's good for the movie, who's bad for the movie. So I want to put those experiences into my production. And because Malayalam, you know, we're a small industry, it's always been so about budgeting and all this stuff. It was never always easy to shoot. Sometimes we're always, if we have one location and we think of the expense, we might do 2 days of work in 1 day. So it's always been a very tight ship. But I understand costing as a producer. I can figure out how this works, what we can afford. So let's make shoot a more happy experience. You know, let people have all the comforts they need. It's okay if we take a little time. But what is the top line and bottom line? How much can I afford to do this? Typically, you know, when people are being very tight about funds, the difference between that and say being a little generous as a producer, the difference might be you might have cast one more star in your film. That will be the cost difference. So in my head, I'm like, okay. We have five stars. In my head, I'm like, let's think of it as 6 stars, but we'll have a comfortable production. You know, and I've had amazing producers, you know, in Telugu. Vaijayanti Films are like family for me.
Yes.
And they take such good care of all of us. You know, it's such a generous production house, and they love their cinema, and they'll do anything to make the movie, you know, give it everything it needs. So those are good influences for me. I worked with Ronnie Screwvala in Hindi. Again, he's just the right amount of hands-on. He's not there every day, but he's there on the first day. He'll come in the middle of shoot. He's there on the last day. But I like these little things that I learned from all these other producers. So I try to incorporate that into my company.
Yeah, very nice. Good learning. ఈ observations ద్వారా మీరు నేర్చుకుంటున్నారని. ఓకే, అగైన్ యూ టీమింగ్ అప్ విత్ వైజయంతి. సో మీరు ఇందా చెప్పినట్టు ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఫ్యామిలీ, అండ్ మీరు చాలా ట్రావెల్ చేశారు కూడా మహానటి ద్వారా. ఫస్ట్ టైం మీకు ఇందాక మీరు చెప్పినట్టు జెమినీ గణేషన్ రోల్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఒకటి తెలుగు అనుకున్నారు, రెండోది నిడివి ఒకటండి, క్యారెక్టర్ నిడివి. మీరు ఇందాకే చెప్పారు ద స్పేస్ ఆఫ్ ద క్యారెక్టర్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ స్మాల్ ఆల్సో ఐ లైక్ ఇఫ్ ఐ లైక్ ఇట్. సో జెమినీ గణేషన్ క్యారెక్టర్ నచ్చి మీరు ఆ సినిమా చేశారా, లేకపోతే వాట్ యాక్చువల్లీ మేడ్ యూ డూ దట్ ఫిలిం, పికప్ దట్?
So I love the team because I think I met at that time Swapna, Priyanka, Nagi, and they're all so young, and they wanted to make a film about Savitri Garu and about an era from the 50s or 60s. So I love that these youngsters are thinking about the past, because today I don't think a lot of youngsters today even know about anything that happened before 2000.
True.
You know, they don't know the careers of our senior actors. They don't know the cinema from before, and there's a lot of disrespect. You know, which I find, it's personally I don't like it. It really upsets me. Also, they have so much information today. You know, you can Google it, you can watch cinema, you have access to everything. So I love the idea that these youngsters are doing a film about Savitri Garu. I love the idea of the film itself. I loved how they were thinking. But I had two big worries. I said, A, I don't look like Gemini Garu at all.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know the language at all. That was my only concern. But I love the idea, and I said, you know, I'm scared I'll mess this up because it's a big film. You're thinking big, you're mounting it big, and at least Kirti knows the language. She's worked there, and Samantha and everyone. You know, they're all from here, familiar. So I was like, what if I'm the reason who pulls the film down if I mess it up? So I said, no, please don't take this risk with me. Please cast somebody else. I can't do it. But they kept coming back. So I think by the third time, I said, okay, maybe I'm destined to do it.
Yeah.
So I told them, I said, I have to put a lot of effort. I want, I need my lines before. Somebody has to sit and coach me. Even before we start shooting, I need to know, my director should be convinced that I can maybe say the lines or not have an accent. But I didn't care about the screen time. I love that he's a little grey. As actors, when you're doing grey, when you're doing dark, is when you really feel like you're performing.
True.
Because in real life, you can't be that.
Absolutely.
Those people, right? We're trying to be good. Our conditioning is to be, behave well, be respectful, don't commit crimes, don't do. That's our social conditioning. So any actor, if you ask them, whether it's theatre, stage, anywhere, everybody loves this slightly grey, evil, loud, angry, because that's when you feel like you're really performing. You're like being loud. You're putting it out there, and it's not your regular behavior. So that was exciting for me. It didn't affect me at all.
బట్ పోస్ట్ రిలీజ్ ఎట్లా ఉంది అంటే హౌ వాజ్ ద రిసెప్షన్ బై
Funny thing, I enjoyed the audio launch. I happened to be there, but around release time I broke my leg. So I missed all the celebrations of the film. So I didn't really experience it. But I've got so much love for that film, even to date. If whether I'm in Hyderabad or sometimes when I've traveled in America, I've had people from Andhra, Telangana just giving me love for. And my biggest love for the audience here is how much they love cinema. I don't think there's another audience like this anywhere in the world who really like cinema is like.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు సెకండ్ ఫిల్మ్ ఇన్ రో విత్ వైజయంతి.
With Vaijayanti.
Oh, that poster is also tremendously good. I mean,
Yeah, it's a beautiful idea.
very exciting. Hanu Ravipudi garu.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful script.
షూటింగ్ అయిపోయిందండి.
We're almost done. We have, I think this month I have a few more days, and maybe a little bit in January, and we're done. But the majority portion is done.
సో కమింగ్ టు కురూప్ అగైన్ అన్కన్వెన్షనల్ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఒకటి, రెండోది కంప్లీట్ గ్రే షేడ్ కూడా కాదు, ఇట్ ఇస్ కంప్లీట్లీ డార్క్ షేడ్, a కంప్లీట్ నెగటివ్ రోల్. బికాస్ సి డ్యూరింగ్ మై టీన్స్ ఐ థింక్ ఐ హర్డ్ లాట్ అబౌట్ దిస్ గై కురూప్. అండ్ ఈ రోజు కూడా ఆ మనిషి ఇంకా దొరకలేదు. కొంతమంది చనిపోయారంటారు, కొంతమంది బతికే ఉన్నాడు, ఎక్కడో ఉన్నాడు అంటారు. సో నోబడీ నోస్ వేర్ ఇస్ దిస్ గై. అండ్ ద వే హీ కిల్డ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ లైక్ హారిఫిక్. అసలు అంత హారిబుల్ క్యారెక్టర్. వై డూ హ్యావ్ టు చూస్ సచ్ అ ఫిలిం? అంటే ఒకటి వాళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీ కూడా ఈజ్ వెరీ వరీడ్ అండ్ అప్సెట్. 5 years బ్యాక్ ఇదే సబ్జెక్ట్తో ఇంకో సినిమా వచ్చింది మలయాళంలోనే, కురూప్ మీదే. దట్ వాజ్ ఇన్ అ కంప్లీట్లీ వాళ్ళకి చాలా నెగిటివ్గా ఉందనేది వాళ్ళు చాలా బాధపడ్డారు. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ తీస్తున్నారని వాళ్ళు అగైన్ దే వర్ ఫీలింగ్ లిటిల్ బ్యాడ్, బట్ దే హర్డ్ దట్ దే సా ద ఫిలిం. వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సే అబౌట్ దిస్? వై డు యు చూస్ దిస్? ఈ సబ్జెక్ట్ చూస్ ఎందుకు చేసుకున్నారు మీరు?
సో like you said, like how you had heard of this case when in your teens. I think definitely anybody from that time, or even me, I'm an 80s child, we've all heard of this one sensational case, and everybody's wanted to know more about it. And generally the big sensational crimes, there's a lot of public interest. People are curious, people want to know, because again, like I said, none of us understand how to be like this. We can never imagine committing a crime because we are conditioned to try and do the right thing and be good people. So I felt like this idea will have an interest from all over. It's based in Kerala, it's a Malayalam film, but I think it will have interest nationwide. Everybody in India will want to know, what is this whole crime, what is this whole incident, who is this man? And my director of, we debuted together. From that time, he's been saying, I want to make a film about Kurup. So for 10 years, we've been talking about it. So around like 17, 18, when he told me, I've kind of developed it, can you hear it? And I love the narrative style. I love the screenplay. It's different, because all the movies made about Kurup is always about that incident, always about the crime. And that's the entire film. So we're like, how can we explore more? So maybe what was he like before this, before the crime? What might have happened to him after the crime? So I thought in all that there is cinema. There is something that we can explore and do it big. And this period is so beautiful, 70s, 80s, and sure, I mean it's a evil character, or he's but I as an actor, I'm curious. I want to try different things. If I keep doing the same thing, I think the audience also will get bored. They'll know what to predict, what I'm coming up with, what this next film is. They might see a post and be like, this is again Dulquer's going to do the same thing, or something like that. So I have to keep surprising them. I have to challenge myself as an actor.
లవ్ స్టోరీస్ అండ్ యాక్షన్ సినిమాల కంటే క్రైమ్ థ్రిల్లర్స్, నెగిటివ్ రోల్స్ ఇష్టం అనుకుంటాం మీకు బాగా. వాటిని ఎక్కువ ఆన్ అండ్ ఆఫ్ చూస్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు బాగా. కలి అయితే కలి చూసినప్పుడు నాకు చాలా కోపం వచ్చింది అంటే వై దిస్ మ్యాన్ ఈస్ డూయింగ్ లైక్ దిస్ అనేసి అంటే యూ రియలీ లివ్డ్ యువర్ రోల్ ఇట్ వాస్ దట్
In fact, when I was performing Kali, I was so used to to being happy and good in films.
ఓకే
I just keep asking my director, I'm like, am I looking angry? Am I convincing? I think I forgot to be angry. I don't know how to, because I'm so used to being, happy and smiling in all my films.
యా
But that's what we need, you have to keep pushing, challenging, trying.
బట్ ఏంటి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ మీకు క్రైమ్ థ్రిల్లర్స్ మీద ఎక్కువ
I
ఈ
don't
సినిమాలో ఎక్కువ 60 ఓకే హాఫ్ 50% అనను కానీ 40% అవి ఉంటాయి 40%
But also, I mean,
చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి మీరు అలాంటి సినిమాలు ఎక్కువ చూసేవారు
but most, I mean, the most memorable of films, even in India or internationally, will be around something grey or crime or dons or gangsters. It's.
యా
I think the people also enjoy watching something like that. Like, if you take a Shah Rukh, his first many movies, he was really negative shades
ఎస్
until like the love story started. There's an Anjam, all those movies. He's almost like psychotic evil. So I don't. There's no conscious decision to do grey negative. My next 5 movies will be like that. Because I keep hearing ideas. So
Okay.
I try to change it up. So if I look at my lineup, in Kurup I'm this evil criminal. My next film in Malayalam, Salute, I'm a cop. In Hanusa's film, I'm an army officer who's this romantic.
Yeah.
So there's
యా
ideally it's always different. I want to keep changing it up.
అంటే దళపతి చూసినప్పుడు మాకు అలాగే అనిపించింది అరే ఇంత లవ్లీ బ్యూటిఫుల్ యాక్టర్ మమ్మూటి గారు ఎంత హ్యాండ్సమ్ గుడ్ లుకింగ్ అది కూడా అప్పట్లో చాలా లవ్ స్టోరీస్ చేశారు
Yeah.
సడన్లీ ఒక దళపతి వచ్చేసింది సో అలాగే మీరు కూడా మంచి ఓకే బంగారం అలాంటి సినిమాలు కన్నులు దోచాయంటే చేస్తూ సడన్గా ఒక క్రిమినల్
Even Kanlu Kanlu is also a criminal, basically.
ఇట్స్ క్రిమినల్ బట్ దట్ హ్యాస్
It's not very evil.
ఇట్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఈవిల్ ఇట్స్ లైక్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ కామెడీ
Yeah.
చాలా కామెడీ క్రిమినల్ అతను
Correct. It's a fun heist. You're not upsetting anybody.
రైట్ సో దుల్కర్ జనరలీ ఒక ఫిలిం సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు మీరు అన్నట్టు ఇందాక నేను ఆ కథలో ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ని ఎక్కువ చూస్తాను అందులో మిగతా క్యారెక్టర్స్ కూడా చూస్తాను నాకెంత ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఉందో అది నేను చూడను అంటున్నారు బట్ ఇవన్నిటినీ దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని బయట డైరెక్టర్లు ప్రొడ్యూసర్లు మీ దగ్గరకు వస్తారు అంటే దే ఆల్సో విల్ సీ వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అ పర్ఫార్మర్ యు ఆర్ హౌ యూ పర్ఫార్మ్ అని ఇస్ దిస్ హౌ యూ గాట్ బాల్కీ సర్స్ ఫిలిం
I've asked him. No, I've asked. I said, how are you seeing? Because it's a very different role. I said, how are you seeing me in this film? I don't understand how. Because if you see my past work, you won't cast me in such a film in such a role. But he's like, no, I was curious. I feel like I think you can perform. But I think I also want to see if you can try something different.
అంటే ఆయన కూడా ఇలాంటి డిఫరెంట్ షేడ్స్ చూసుంటారు మీలో
Yeah, maybe.
రకరకాల సినిమాలు చేశారు కదా
Yeah, but I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't know what all they watch. Sometimes the more popular films are either I'm a romantic hero or a happy, or like a Charlie, where I'm always happy and smiling. So when I get offered these kind of roles, I'm like, okay, maybe my directors also want to challenge me,
ఎస్
and that's important. I think I want to know. I want to explore my range as an actor. I want to keep growing. I don't want to get attached to comfort zone. So yeah.
మీరు కొత్త డైరెక్టర్లకి అవకాశం ఇస్తున్నారు అంటే యు ఆర్ ఛాలెంజింగ్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ యు ఆర్ గివింగ్ అన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ టు అ న్యూ డెబ్యూటెంట్ డైరెక్టర్స్
Yeah.
వాళ్ళతో పాటుగా బృందా మ్యామ్ ఇప్పుడు మీతో సినిమా చేస్తున్నారు బృందా గారు వీ నోన్ హర్ యాజ్ అ గ్రేట్ కొరియోగ్రాఫర్
Yeah.
హౌ కమ్ ఆవిడే డైరెక్ట్ చేయటం దాన్ని మీరు ఓకే ఫైన్ లెట్స్ డూ ఇట్ అనటం అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ మేడ్ యూ ఇట్ అట్రాక్టెడ్ టు దట్
Brinda
పర్టిక్యులర్
Master for me is literally like my guru,
Okay.
and she's literally like family for me. Because I'm a very reluctant dancer. I can't. I don't think I did a lot of dancing as a youngster. So especially film dancing for me is very difficult because you have to know your lines, you have to sing and dance, and something about my coordination is off. Either I can do upper body or I can do leg. So by the time I figure this out, suddenly they'll say, "Sir, sing the lyric also." I'm like, lyric? So I used to panic a lot. And Brinda Master is the only reason. I think if there's any song and dance in my films, she's the only reason. She's the one person who will make me comfortable and somehow make me look good dancing. Otherwise, I have zero faith in myself.
ఓకే
So I really owe a big part of my career to her. So when she wanted to direct, and she came up with an idea, mentioned it to me. In my head, I'd said yes. But, but I wanted to understand the idea. I wanted to understand what, as a director, she's trying to do. And I loved it. I mean, I thought it's a really sweet idea. And it was such a beautiful experience. A, because she's a choreographer, she already knows. Direction is not difficult for her. But it was the most efficient film. Like, I think every day, like by 5 o'clock, they're like, you're done, we can go home. Because the planning is so good and she's so quick.
Yeah.
And it's a predominantly women-oriented set. Our DOP was a lady. I think every department.
But
costume.
how different is it?
It was wonderful because what I experienced was, A, they were all very close friends.
Okay.
And so they had a lot of history together. So it was very warm for me to see it. It's like I'm close to my mother, her sisters, my aunts, all of them. So I felt it was like all of them were hanging out, and every department is, and they're young, older, all age groups.
Okay.
And there's 2 actresses, there's me. So it was such a wonderful experience for me to work in such a women-dominated sort of crew. It is a completely different experience, but so efficient and so happy and so positive. I don't think there was any stress on that film.
Oh,
Not a single day. All our ADs, everybody was happy, everybody was prepared. It was a wonderful experience, and I think.
But Dulquer,
we'll
I have noticed Malayalam films over the years have changed a lot with respect to women, women characterization.
Yeah.
Chala varaku 80% films lo strong women unnaru, women characters ni baga uplift chestunaru. They're writing stories for women.
Yeah.
Women are coming forward to direct. They're in different crafts. And I think Malayalam has first taken that, ante torch bearer అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు మన Indian film industry.
But also because because the number of cinema films we do, we can very quickly adapt. And today there's so much discussion, so much conversation across the country about equality, about just any kind of bringing each other up, whether it's men, whether it's women, whether it's all of these conversations are, I think, helping people understand, okay, we need to have these conversations, or we need to apply these thoughts into our cinema. And we can quickly adapt because our cinema is much quicker.
Okay.
It's not spread over 1 year, 2 years. We have so many, we have 200-300 releases a year. So I think that helps. I think, we can keep listening. And as it is, we're obsessed with news in Kerala. Everybody is always reading the news or watching the news. So I think they're always hearing these conversations. And I think that helps. Yeah, I think it's...
So before we end, Dulquer, 2 questions.
Yeah.
What is this love for your bikes and cars? మీ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్లో సగం పోస్టులు సినిమాల మీద ఉంటే సగం బైక్లు, కార్లు, రకరకాల కార్లు, వింటేజ్ కార్లు. మీ ఇంటి నిండా కార్లు ఉంటాయంట, నిజమేనా? ఇంటి చుట్టూ
I think
how many cars you have?
I'll never take the number. I don't want to count myself because
Count myself, అంత కౌంట్లెస్ ఉన్నాయా? అన్ని ఉన్నాయా?
I mean, it's not that they're all expensive cars.
Okay.
Sometimes when I buy old cars, my family itself is like, what is this junk you've bought? And then over 4 years, 5 years, I'll restore it.
Okay.
But like I said,
అంటే అవి కొని పెట్టుకుంటారా, వాటి నడుపుతారా? యూ జస్ట్ బై ఇట్ బికాస్ యూ వాంట్ టు బై ఓల్డ్ కార్స్ కొనటం ఒక ప్యాషనా, ఇష్టమా?
something in my head, I feel like they all have a lot of stories behind them. From the 70s, 80s. I mean, in India that time we only had ambassadors and Fiats.
Yeah, right.
So I used to always be fascinated by people who take the effort to import something interesting. So I like those stories. Like when I get the documents, I'll see who first imported it, how it came in, which port it came in, who were the different owners. I like all that. Maybe it's my love for stories, I don't know. But I think people who like cars and bikes, there's something off. Wiring is a little off. But for me, it's as a hobby, it keeps me positive. Like I said, I don't want to give the energies, like I said, in the industry, whether it's media, whether it's fans or whatever, there's always negativity that keeps coming to you. There's always, oh, your film didn't work, or your competition or your peer group, this actor's doing well, what are you doing? Why did you do this?
So కార్లు మిమ్మల్ని ప్రశాంతం చేసేస్తాయి.
I'm like, I don't want to discuss any of this. So if I'm on my phone, I'm talking to my friends who are helping me with the work. I'm buying some old car part, or I'm getting pictures of restaurants. So it keeps me I think everybody needs a hobby.
ఓకే
Yeah.
బట్ మీరు కోవిడ్ టైంలో ఏదో ఒక బైక్ డిజైనర్ బైక్ ఏదో
That's not during COVID time. That is
లాంగ్
long
బ్యాక్
back. Yeah,
ఓకే
yeah, yeah.
అంటే
I think
మీరు
during
మీరే
COVID, I think it came out.
మీరే మొత్తం అసిమ్యులేట్ చేసుకుని చేశారా లేకపోతే
I-
యు
yeah,
హైర్ సంబడి ఫర్ దట్ జాబ్
There's definitely people who help me. I can't,
యా
personally
రైట్
do
రైట్
it. But
నో ఐమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద ఐడియా బేసిక్ ఐడియా వాట్ ఆల్ షుడ్ గో ఇన్ టు ఇట్ అని
yeah, definitely. As in, for me, it's very personal. I like whether it's a color, whether it's a wheel, whether any accessories. But also, there's so much information, so I can see what people are doing everywhere. I can get ideas. But all this for me it's a very positive thing.
మీరు హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చినప్పుడల్లా టు హూమ్ అంటే మీరు హూమ్ డూ యూ లుక్ అప్ టు అంటే మీరు వీళ్ళని కలవాలి వాళ్ళని కలవాలి ఫలానా వాళ్ళతో ఉండాలి పలానా వాళ్ళతో టైం పాస్ చేయాలి అని ఎవరితో ఎక్కువ అనుకుంటారు మీరు హూ ఆర్ యువర్ గుడ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఇన్ హైదరాబాద్
Oh, I have a lot of good friends in Hyderabad. Whether it's, I think Rana, Che, Akhil, and all. I've known them from before.
Okay.
We were all actors.
Yeah.
I think I first met Rana when I was in the 9th standard or something, because we have common friends
Okay.
in Chennai. And there's always, and this is this is basic generosity I think people here have. So whenever I'm here, before I tell anyone, they'll find out and they'll call me and they're like, "You're here. What can we do? Come hang out. Shall I send a car?" They're so hospitable, It's so I'm like, please just relax. I'll come and see you guys. I don't want to disturb anyone. I get to see Nag sir up close. I get to see the family. Or a Vijay. All of them. I've worked with Sam. All these people. And again, Samantha, I've known her from Chennai.
yes
We didn't hang out, but I was aware that she's starting out and she's an actor and stuff. But again, there's a lot of love that I get here. It's not like it's some competition. It's very easy. And I think all of us when we come, whether it's when Prithvi comes, all the boys are so like, all our friends here are so welcoming and they want to talk about cinema. So I love coming here because of all of this. Not just the audience, even
Okay, Dulquer, thank you so much for the interview. So we'll close it with a wonderful, exciting element that is your song. Dingare Dingare. I really love the song. But why you didn't sing in Telugu? మీరు తెలుగులో ఎందుకు పాడలేదు ఓన్లీ మలయాళంలో పాడి వదిలేశారు
I didn't even have the time to sing the Malayalam song.
అరే
I was literally, because I'm shooting 2 films, I'm coming back, and they're like, my team was like, please, at least,
అసలు మస్తుంది ఆ పాట చాలా
sweet song.
బాగుంది
It's a very
తెలుగు
old-
ఆల్సో ఇస్ వెరీ గుడ్
Yeah, it's an old Anglo-Indian song, I think.
యా అది ఎక్కడ ఉన్నట్టుంది ఆ ట్యూన్ కూడా ఇట్ ఇస్ దేర్ సమ్వేర్ ఏదో
The beginning part is an old Tamil
యా
song.
రైట్ దట్ బిగినింగ్ 2-3 లైన్స్
Yeah, that's an old Tamil
ప్లీజ్
song.
ఫర్ us
My favorite part of the song is, oh, Rosame, my dear Rosame, onnu chirchittu po Rosame. And we first heard it during second show, our first film.
Okay.
We were in Wayanad and there was a gentleman who invited us to his plantation. And he just took out the guitar and started singing this. So I think it's been in our minds for so long.
ఓకే
So we decided maybe in the film we can use it.
బట్ డింగరి డింగలే ఇస్ దట్ లైన్ ఐ వాంట్
Dingiri dingale, dinaki dingiri dingale, ulagam pona pokka paru rosama pennale.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్
Thank you,
దుల్కర్
thank you.
విష్ యూ గుడ్ లక్ ఫర్
So
ఆల్
please watch the film and
Yes.
give me your feedback. I hope you all enjoy it. We've tried our best to make sure the lines sound right, the writing is good, the translations are good. So I hope it feels like a Telugu film.
Yes, and I am waiting because I always wanted this man to know more about this guy.
Yeah.
He's very mysterious.
Yeah.
Till now, nobody knows.
Correct.
Maybe
He
is,
might-
what
he
is,
might even
whether
be
he's
alive.
alive
Yeah.
or dead.
Yeah.
But చూడాలని అనిపిస్తుంది.
Yeah.
I want to know the story of this person, and
That-
everybody should watch.
Correct.
I think.
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Dulquer.
man. Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot
much.
for your
Thank
time.
you. Pleasure.